So, 2025 is here, a blank canvas full of potential. And today I am sharing the 5 principles that can absolutely transform your life this year. Will this be the year you break free from your old patterns, that you finally start progressing towards that person that you know you're capable of becoming? Well, with these tips, my goal is that you walk away from this video having the blueprint, having the action plan to finally take the first step forward to becoming the ultimate version of yourself. Let's dive in. That's good. So, principle number 1, health is wealth. And this principle I hold near and dear to my heart because honestly, health and fitness has completely transformed my life. Your health isn't just important, it's literally everything. Without it, every goal in your life becomes harder to reach. Think about it. If you're not physically fit, everything you do during the day is harder, or sometimes the little things, or what should be little, become big tasks or a burden. Improving your health can impact your daily energy, your mood, and ultimately your long-term success as well. I can't even explain the difference in my productivity, in my energy, in my focus, in my drive. If you're someone who you're going through your days lacking motivation, lacking inspiration, a lot of it can be tied to your health, your wellness. And it can seem daunting at first if you're not in a physically good position right now or your health isn't in the best spot, but there's no excuse. Your health is literally everything. It will change the trajectory of your life. You just have to implement little steps, little habits, day after day. Start small, eat one better meal a day, take a quick 10-minute walk, and then expand it into a 20-minute, a 30-minute walk. Another big tip is just get serious about your sleep. Go to sleep a little bit earlier each and every night. Start to prioritize that rest and recovery. You're gonna feel so much better every morning. And honestly, that's the beginning of every single day, is hopping up out of bed, feeling a little bit more energetic and ready to conquer the day. Because it really is simple. When you feel good, you do good. Health is wealth. Principle number 2, the power of making connections. Honestly, we are not meant to do life alone. We are social creatures. This year, I want you to focus on building relationships with people who inspire you. You're gonna network, you're gonna collaborate, you're gonna connect. And before you know it, you're gonna be the person that people wanna connect with. And I swear it's such a snowball effect. Meet new people, make stronger connections, and you truly are a product of the 5 people that you hang with the most. So if you got 5 degenerates around you, you're gonna be a degenerate too. If you have 5 super successful people that you look up to and they inspire you and they're constantly around you, they're your inner circle, it is amazing what that will do for you. They'll teach you so many life skills, so many lessons, so many things that are just taking you to a whole nother level. And it just happens naturally. So you have to make connections. You got to put yourself out there. Doesn't matter if that's an Instagram DM to someone you look up to or someone who inspires you, or just introducing yourself to someone who you run into in public that seems like they have their life together. I can't tell you the doors that have opened just by me being friendly, being sociable, making new connections, even when it's uncomfortable. Like in the social media landscape, I have met people that have literally opened up doors that I could never have imagined that I would walk into. I've worked with brands that I would never have done it if I didn't shoot that shot, if I didn't make a connection. So I just can't say it enough how important it is to make powerful connections and do it in abundance, do it over and over again. And I mean, worst case, you make new friends or you meet new people. And best case scenario, they completely change your life. So make those connections. It's worth it. So principle number 3, You need to start acting like that future version of you right now. Now, not waiting to get better, not having all these excuses to wait until you can be more successful, or when you have enough money, you'll start talking about this, or when you have enough followers or enough success, whatever the case may be. No, what you're going to do is in your mind, you're going to implant the idea that you already are that version of you. You're already perfect. You're already where you need to be. You've already reached that pinnacle. You've hit the top of the mountain. How would that version of you think? They'd be pretty confident, right? They would feel like they have the success and the proof to back it up. So this isn't faking it till you make it. Well, maybe kind of, but it's a different way of reframing it. You're not faking anything. You are truly every single day practicing getting into the mindset of, if you, in 5 years from now, when you accomplish all your wildest dreams, I don't care what it is, how big the goals are, to make your first $1 million, to get 1 million followers, to land that dream job, whatever it is, think and meditate on the fact that you've already achieved that. How good does that feel? Just sit there and get really, really good at practicing that visualization of how life would feel when you achieve X, Y, and Z. And when I've done that, a couple tips that I have are, you can do it in the morning, you can do it midday, especially when you're feeling stressed, or like, your current life is getting in the way and you're feeling like bogged down or stressed with work or not happy with something, right? You want to use those points in your life as triggers to stop. And instead of having that mindset, you're going to just think, what would that future version of me think if he had everything, or if she had everything that they've ever wanted and they've achieved those goals that right now are just goals to you? And when I've done that in the morning, sometimes in the afternoon, and then before bed, it reprogrammed my subconscious mind, and it will do the same for you. When you start thinking like that future version of you, you're going to start acting like them too. That energy that you have inside is going to start coming outside, and therefore it's going to come back to you. You're not waiting for a magical pill to take. You're not waiting until your bank account looks much bigger. You're not waiting until you hit a certain level of success. You're acting like you've already achieved it now. And it's so powerful, dude. So trust me, that's exactly what you're gonna wanna do. That's principle number 3, and it's absolutely game changing. And now, it's time for principle number 4. Oh, hi there. Momentum over perfection. The secret isn't perfection, it's momentum. It's simply just doing things. It's taking little steps, getting started, building momentum, and ultimately just getting the tasks done. Start that workout, launch that new business idea. And the thing about momentum is every step gets easier, and that's the beauty of it. One foot in front of the other, day by day, inch by inch, step by step, you are building momentum, and it's like a snowball effect. Everything gets easier with each rep, each step you take. You're not going to overstress about being perfect or waiting for the perfect time when you're 100% ready. You just take the first step and then the second, and it grows from there. And I love to practice the 5-minute rule. So the 5-minute rule is essentially, if you have a task or you have something looming that you are not looking forward to, maybe it's tedious or maybe it's just a huge project, you set a 5-minute timer on your phone and you just start working on that task with no distractions, just that for 5 minutes. You can do that, right? 5 minutes is nothing. So you set that timer, and you know what happens basically 99% of the time is you get to the end of that 5 minutes and you just keep going. You realize that you just needed to get started. All those thoughts and all that overwhelm you were feeling before starting kind of fades away with each minute that passes by. So 5 minutes is the perfect test. Trust me, put a 5-minute timer on. Does not matter the task or the goal or whatever you're working on. 5-minute timer saves the day and is honestly a huge tip. So that's very practical. And overall, the biggest thing you need to think about with this principle is we're not making excuses. We're starting small, moving forward step by step, building momentum, and it just stacks up and compounds. Before you know it, you're crushing it. All right, principle number 5. Get out of your bubble. Comfort zones feel safe. They're reliable, they're predictable, and they're familiar, which makes it easy to stay in. But let me tell you something. The magic does not happen in your comfort zones. Growth, and I mean real growth, does not happen until you break out of your bubble and start to explore. I used to be terrified. I mean, the world's a huge place, and if you're lacking confidence or you're filled with fear and worry, you can just overthink your way into staying in your comfort zone. And I definitely did that. But it wasn't until I stepped into the unknown that I started to truly become the best version of myself. When I first decided to solo travel for the very first time, my world unlocked. I remember boarding that plane with all this fear and anxiety and just a lot of worry, not knowing what to expect. It was uncomfortable, it was scary, but it changed my life forever. I met people that ended up challenging my way of thinking. I got engulfed in cultures that completely opened my mind. And by the end of my first solo trip, I came back with a level of confidence that I've never experienced before. But getting out of your bubble and getting out of your comfort zone doesn't always mean hopping on a plane and traveling. It could be trying that hobby that you've always been curious about but afraid to start, joining a group where you know nobody, or even having that tough conversation with someone that you've been avoiding. The key is to do things that are uncomfortable, things that are breaking you out of that level of comfort and stability and familiarity. So you really just get to a point where you're trying something where everything in your mind is saying, this is uncomfortable, I don't want to do it, but you step out and you try it anyway. That's what breaking out of your bubble means. Whether that's traveling and expanding your geographic horizons or pushing your mental limits, it's time for you to stop leaning into what feels safe and secure. That's not where growth happens, and that is not where you are going to become that ultimate version of yourself. Just try new things, push yourself, and remember the world is massive. It is way bigger than your tiny bubble that you've put around yourself.
All right, those are my 5 principles for life. I could go on and on about different tips that will help you, but those 5 really summarize my philosophy on life and how to get better in every area of it. I really hope you've decided to make 2025 the best year of your life, because remember, it is all on you. It's your decision to make. And once you make that decision, do not look back. I believe in you. You got this.